Welcome back to our channel, friends. Today's topic might make you uncomfortable. And that's a good thing, because discomfort is not the enemy. Discomfort is the pathway to greatness. If you're tired of staying stuck, if you feel like your brain is your biggest enemy, if you always avoid hard things, scary decisions, and new challenges, then this video is your wake-up call. Today, we're going to rewire your brain so you can stop running from pain and start using it to grow stronger, smarter, and unbreakable. Let's begin. Rule 1. Your brain is not built for growth. It's built for safety. This is something most people don't understand. Your brain's job is not to make you rich, confident, or successful. Its job is to protect you. The brain is designed to avoid danger, stay in comfort, repeat familiar patterns, reduce effort. So when you try to do something new, like speaking in public, starting a business, waking up at 5 a.m., learning a new skill, your brain screams, "No, this is scary. Let's go back to comfort." But here's the truth. Growth never lives in comfort. Growth lives in discomfort. Growth lives in challenge. Growth lives in the unknown. To rewire your brain, you must teach it. Discomfort is not danger. Discomfort is development. Example: Daniel's push-ups in the rain. Let's take the story of Daniel, a 19-year-old from Texas. Daniel was shy, overweight, addicted to video games, and afraid of trying new things. One day, he watched a video that said, "Do one hard thing every day to rebuild your mind." So Daniel made a rule. Every morning at 6 a.m., he would do 10 push-ups outside, no matter the weather. Day 1, he could barely do 3 push-ups. Day 2, his arms hurt. Day 5, it rained, but he still showed up. Something started changing, not just his body, but his mind. He said, "The more I faced the cold, the rain, the pain, the less afraid I felt of everything else." Today, Daniel runs marathons. He speaks at fitness events, and he says, "It wasn't the push-ups that changed me. It was the pain I stopped running from." Why discomfort builds mental strength. Let's get a little deeper. When you do something hard, something uncomfortable, your brain creates new neural pathways. That means it starts building new connections, new responses, new habits. Each time you say no to junk food, talk to a stranger, study when you're tired, wake up early when your body wants to sleep, speak up when you feel nervous, you are rewiring your brain. You're saying, "I'm not a victim of comfort. I'm the creator of my future." Daily practice. The 10% rule. You don't need to torture yourself. You just need to stretch yourself. Try this. Every day, do one thing that is 10% uncomfortable. Just 10% outside your comfort zone. Examples. If you hate cold water, take a 30-second cold shower. If you avoid tough conversations, start one with kindness. If you procrastinate on your work, start a timer and do 15 focused minutes. Each day, stretch a little more. And over time, your brain will stop fearing discomfort. It will start respecting it. If you want to rewire your brain, stop asking what feels easy. Start asking what will make me grow. Because your comfort zone is not your friend. Your comfort zone is your cage. And every time you step out, even for 5 minutes, you make your mind stronger, your spirit braver, and your future brighter. Rule 2. Comfort makes you soft. Pressure makes you powerful. Let's be real. Most people today are too soft. Not because they're weak, but because they're too comfortable. Soft bed, soft schedule, soft habits, soft goals. They say, I don't feel like doing it today. It's too hard. I'll do it when I'm ready. But life doesn't care about your feelings. Life rewards those who move forward, even when it's hard. Here's the truth. The stronger your comfort zone, the weaker your discipline. The more pressure you face, the more powerful you become. Let's break this down. Why comfort makes you mentally weak. Think about it. When you never face pressure, you never build patience. When you avoid challenges, you avoid growth. When everything is easy, even small problems feel like big ones. That's why people have anxiety over phone calls. That's why students panic before tests. That's why adults give up after one failure. Because their brain was never trained to face fire, only to escape it. Story of Tyler, the boy who hated the gym. Tyler was 21, lived in Chicago, very intelligent, but always afraid to push himself. He told himself, I'm not built for hard things. I don't like pain. I just want peace. He would avoid every difficult task, from workouts to job interviews to difficult conversations. Then one day, his uncle, a retired Marine, told him something. Tyler, pressure doesn't break you. Pressure shows you who you really are. That hit him hard. Tyler made one decision. He joined a CrossFit gym, the hardest one in town. The first day, he wanted to quit. He was out of breath in 5 minutes. But he came back the next day, and the next, and the next. After 2 months, he realized something. He wasn't just getting physically stronger. He was getting mentally tougher. He began applying for better jobs. He spoke with confidence. He stood taller. He said, the gym didn't just change my muscles. It rewired my brain. The science of pressure. When you experience healthy pressure, your brain releases dopamine, not just from success, but from the effort you put in. Each time you survive a stressful situation, your brain learns that you are capable. It builds grit, courage, emotional control, focus, and decision-making power. That's why athletes, soldiers, and performers are trained in pressure, so that when real-life storms come, they're already mentally ready. And guess what? You can train the same way. Daily practice. Embrace small pressures. Here's what you can start doing today. 1. Delay gratification. Craving junk food? Wait 30 minutes first. Want to check your phone? Finish one task first. 2. Take cold showers. Train your brain to stay calm in discomfort. 3. Have hard conversations. Instead of avoiding the problem, face it with calm words. 4. Speak in front of people, even if it's just 2 friends. Push through the fear. 5. Set a deadline and stick to it. Create pressure and finish before time. Remember, a little pressure every day makes you powerful every year. You don't grow by staying soft. You grow by choosing strength. Even when your mind says, relax. Comfort is temporary pleasure. Pressure is permanent power. Choose power. Because once you train your brain to love pressure, you will never fear the fire again. You'll walk through it and come out stronger than you ever imagined. Rule 3. Stop escaping. Start enduring. If you truly want to rewire your brain, here's a rule you must never forget. Stop running away from hard things. Start staying with them, feeling them, fighting through them. The problem isn't that people face pain. The problem is that they try to escape pain too fast. They feel stress. They scroll social media. They feel lonely. They eat comfort food. They feel bored. They binge-watch shows. They feel tired. They give up. This pattern becomes a habit, a mental shortcut. Every time something feels uncomfortable, your brain says, let's escape this. And soon, your brain becomes your enemy. It stops helping you grow. It only helps you hide. Escape weakens you every time. Escaping discomfort feels good now, but it steals your strength over time. It kills your confidence, patience, focus, courage. It turns you into someone who quits fast, who always looks for the easy path, who gets scared of failure and becomes emotionally weak. That's not the life you want. So what's the solution? Train your brain to stay, not run. If you want to rewire your brain for strength, you need to do the opposite. Instead of escaping pain, stay with it. Instead of avoiding fear, face it. Instead of backing down, breathe through it. Discomfort is not your enemy. Discomfort is your mental gym. And every second you stay in discomfort, you become mentally stronger than 90% of people who run away. Story: James and the broken phone call. Let's talk about James, a 23-year-old from Florida. He had a huge fear of talking to people on the phone. Even ordering pizza made him nervous. He would always text or email, never call. One day, he got an offer to intern at a startup, but the company wanted to interview him on a phone call. He almost rejected it, but something inside him said, "I can't keep running from small fears. If I can't do this, how will I handle bigger fears?" He accepted the call. When the phone rang, his heart raced. His palms were sweaty. He felt like hanging up, but he didn't escape. He took a deep breath. He picked up, and he spoke. He stuttered at first, but by the end, he felt calm. The call lasted only 10 minutes, but James said it was the most important 10 minutes of his life. He didn't escape. He endured. And that one decision started changing how his brain responded to fear. Today, James works full-time with that company. He gives presentations. He mentors others, all because he chose to endure the pain, not run from it. What happens when you endure? When you stop escaping and stay inside discomfort, amazing things happen in your brain. You build emotional tolerance. Your mind learns that fear is temporary. Your brain rewires to become calmer under stress. You feel proud, focused, and in control. You create new mental programs that say, "I can do hard things. I can survive pressure." This doesn't happen in one day, but it starts the first time you choose to stay. Daily practice. Practice endurance. Here are ways you can apply this rule right now. Sit in silence for 10 minutes without touching your phone. When you feel overwhelmed, don't escape. Just breathe and stay with it. Do a workout, and when it gets hard, don't stop. Do one more set. Talk to someone you've been avoiding. Read one more page even when your brain says, "I'm bored." Every time you stay instead of escape, your brain gets sharper, your heart gets braver, and your mind gets stronger. You can either run from discomfort, or you can rise through it. Pain builds power, if you stay with it. Pressure builds peace, if you breathe through it. Fear builds confidence, if you face it. Your brain doesn't grow from what you avoid. It grows from what you endure. So next time life feels uncomfortable, don't run. Stay, feel it, face it, and walk through it, one breath at a time. Rule 4. Make failure your best teacher, not your final stop. We've all been told that failure is bad, that it means you're not good enough. You should quit. You're not meant for it. But here's the truth. Failure is not the end. Failure is feedback. Failure is where your real training begins. If you avoid failure, you avoid growth. If you hate failure, you block wisdom. If you fear failure, you never reach your potential. To rewire your brain, you must start loving the lessons that failure gives you. The real purpose of failure. Failure is not a punishment. It's a mirror. It shows you what's not working, where you need to improve, what habits are holding you back, what mindset needs to be upgraded. When you listen to failure instead of running from it, your brain becomes smarter, stronger, sharper. Think of failure like a personal coach. It doesn't whisper sweet words. It yells the truth you need to hear. And if you stay open, that truth will take you higher than success ever could. Story of Olivia, the aspiring musician. Let's talk about Olivia, a 24-year-old girl from New York. She loved singing since childhood. She dreamed of performing on big stages. But every time she auditioned, she failed. First at school, then at college, then for a local music show. Each time she was rejected. Her friends told her, "Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you're not that talented." She almost believed them. But one day, her music teacher gave her a powerful message. "You haven't failed. You've been collecting feedback. Listen to it. Fix it. Return stronger." So Olivia sat down and wrote every reason she was rejected. Weak breathing technique, nervous eye contact, song choice didn't suit her voice. She worked on all of them for 6 months. No shows, no attention, just pure growth. Then she re-auditioned. This time, she passed. She performed. She got standing ovations, all because she didn't let failure stop her. She let failure train her. How failure rewires your brain. When you face failure and stay with it, your brain learns that setbacks are not the same as defeat, that you can survive pain and keep moving, that discomfort is temporary, but wisdom is forever, that you're stronger than your lowest moment. Each failure becomes a mental reboot, a moment where your brain asks, "Okay, what did I learn? What can I try differently?" This reflection is what turns average people into extraordinary minds. Daily practice. Learn from what went wrong. Here's how you can use failure to grow stronger. 1. Write down your biggest recent failure. Ask, what was the real reason I failed? What can I control next time? 2. Talk to yourself without judgment. Instead of saying, "I'm stupid," say, "I missed the mark. Now I will correct it." 3. Celebrate small comebacks. Every time you fix one mistake, smile. That's progress. 4. Keep a failure journal log every failed attempt, and write one thing you learned from each. 5. Talk to others about your failure. Not for sympathy, but to share your growth. You'll find strength in honesty. Remember, pain is short, the lesson is long, and growth is forever. Most people fear failure, but the ones who succeed study it. A failure is not your weakness. It's your mental upgrade. It shows you the next step. It reveals the truth. It toughens your mind. It rewires your brain. So the next time you fall, don't say, "Why me?" Say, "What now?" Stand up. Look back only to learn. And then walk forward. Wiser, calmer, stronger. Rule 5. Train your brain to act, not just think. Let's be honest. Most people today are professional overthinkers. They read books, they watch videos, they listen to podcasts. They say things like, "I know I should do it. I've been thinking about it. I just need a little more time." But months pass, and nothing changes. Why? Because they've trained their brain to collect information, not to take action. Thinking is important. But thinking without action is like having seeds and never planting them. Your brain grows through movement, not just imagination. To truly rewire your brain, you must develop a habit of doing. Even when it's not perfect, even when you don't feel ready, even when your heart is racing, because action is the most powerful message you can send to your mind. Why thinking alone isn't enough. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it for action, the more it grows in confidence. But if all you do is think, plan, wait, doubt, prepare, and repeat, you create a habit of mental delay. Your brain gets comfortable with overanalyzing, making excuses, avoiding responsibility, waiting for perfect timing, and slowly, without realizing it, you become a master of avoiding action. Story of Noah, the hesitant dreamer. Let's meet Noah, a 26-year-old from Austin, Texas. He always dreamed of launching a podcast. He had great ideas. He studied everything: microphones, editing software, podcast platforms. For 8 months, he watched tutorials every day. He bought a fancy mic. He even made an Instagram page. But guess what? He never recorded a single episode. One day, his cousin asked him, "How's the podcast going?" Noah froze. He realized he hadn't taken even one action. So that night, without planning, he hit record. No intro, no script, just raw thoughts. He uploaded it. It got 14 plays. Not much, right? But it changed everything. He realized the real battle was not about success. It was about starting. Now, 2 years later, Noah's podcast has 200,000 plus listeners. Not because he was perfect, but because he trained his brain to act. How action rewires your brain. When you take action, even small, your brain gets a reward signal. It tells you you are capable. You are moving forward. You are in control. Each time you act, you build courage, discipline, decision-making power, emotional strength. Action also removes fear. You fear what you don't face. But once you take the first step, the monster becomes a shadow. That's why we say, clarity comes from action, not thought. Daily practice. Start before you're ready. Here's how you can train your brain to become action first. 1. Follow the 5-second rule. When your brain says, "I should do it," count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. 2. Start ugly. Don't wait for perfection. Do it messy, but do it. 3. Give yourself micro goals. Not write a book, but write 1 paragraph today. Not change career, but email 1 person. 4. Use a visual scoreboard. Track your actions on a wall calendar or a habit app. Seeing your progress builds momentum. 5. Create action rituals. Have a trigger for doing, like putting on shoes for gym or lighting a candle before writing. Your dreams don't need more thoughts. They need your hands, your legs, your voice, your action. You will never feel completely ready. But that's okay. You don't need to be ready. You just need to begin. Once you act, even once, your brain changes. It learns. This person doesn't just think. This person does. That's the mindset of winners, of leaders, of game changers. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Make this moment perfect by taking action. Rule 6. Create a mental lock. Discipline. First emotion second. Most people live life backward. They wake up and ask themselves, how do I feel today? Do I feel like doing it? Am I in the mood? And when they don't feel motivated, they quit. They wait for better energy or better mood. But the truth is this: winners don't listen to emotions first. They lock into discipline. Then emotions follow. Let's break this down. Why emotions can't lead the way. Emotions are like weather. Sometimes sunny, sometimes stormy, sometimes unclear. If you wait for motivation, you'll spend 90% of your life waiting and only 10% doing. Your brain doesn't need more feelings to move forward. It needs a system. Discipline is that system. Discipline is not about being hard on yourself. It's about being committed, even when you don't feel like it. It's saying, this is who I am now, not just what I feel right now. Story of Mason, the reluctant coder. Mason was a 23-year-old college graduate from Portland. He dreamed of becoming a software engineer, but he hated waking up early. He hated sitting alone. He hated tutorials. Every day he told himself, I'm not in the mood today. I'll study later, but later never came. Then one day he met his cousin, Clara, a single mom who was working full-time and still learning coding at night. She said, discipline is not for perfect people. It's for people who are tired of being stuck. That hit Mason like a hammer. So he made a decision. Every morning before breakfast, he'd study for 90 minutes. No phone, no excuses, no matter what. At first, it was hard. He hated it. But 2 weeks later, something changed. His brain stopped arguing. He just woke up and studied. Fast forward 8 months, he landed a remote job in a startup. Not because he was gifted, but because he trained his mind to listen to discipline, not emotion. The science, neuroplasticity, and habit loops. When you repeat a behavior, especially under discomfort, your brain rewires the neural pathways. This is called neuroplasticity. When you show up even without motivation, your brain builds a habit loop. Cue. Wake up. Action. Reward. Feeling of progress and control. Over time, this loop becomes automatic. You don't need to feel ready, because you're already in motion. Daily practice. Lock in your discipline first. 1. Set non-negotiable actions. These are not I'll try tasks. These are I do it no matter what actions. 2. Ignore the voice. When your brain says, not today, smile and move anyway. 3. Track the wins, not the mood. Record what you did, not how you felt. 4. Use visual anchors, sticky notes, reminders, alarms. Your environment should pull you back to discipline. 5. Reward consistency, not perfection. Even 10 minutes of consistent action is better than 3 hours of rare intensity. You are not your feelings. You are your choices. Motivation may visit you once a week. Discipline stays with you every day. If you train it, rewire your brain to say, no matter how I feel, I will show up. Because once you learn to act without asking for permission from your emotions, you become unbreakable. Rule 7. Welcome the struggle. Growth lives in resistance. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your personal trainer. We live in a world that teaches us to escape struggle. Take the shortcut. Choose the easy option. Avoid pain at all costs. But here's the paradox. The more you avoid struggle, the weaker your mind becomes. The more you face struggle, the stronger your brain becomes. Let's understand why. Growth equals resistance. Your brain, like your muscles, grows under resistance. If you go to the gym and lift a 2-kilogram dumbbell every day, you'll see no change. But when you push your muscles to handle more weight, more tension, more pressure, that's when they tear and rebuild stronger. Your brain works the same way. When you challenge yourself, when you face resistance, your brain creates new pathways, adapts faster, learns better, and builds emotional strength. No resistance equals no growth. Story of Logan, the struggler who transformed. Let's talk about Logan, a 30-year-old from Detroit. He had a speech disorder since childhood. Every time he stood to speak, he stuttered. People laughed, He felt embarrassed. So for years, he stayed silent. He took jobs that didn't require communication. He avoided meetings. He hid from attention. But one day, he watched a TED Talk by a man who overcame stuttering. And that day, something shifted. Logan decided to do the hardest thing he could imagine. He joined a local public speaking group. At first, it was brutal. He stuttered through every sentence. He sweated. He wanted to run away. But he didn't. Week after week, he returned. He struggled. He practiced. He got coaching. He faced the pain of speaking. And slowly, his voice began to flow. Today, Logan is a motivational speaker. He speaks to students, corporates, and parents about overcoming fear. His voice is strong, not because it was always smooth, but because it was forged in struggle. Why your brain needs struggle. There's a science behind this. When you engage in challenging tasks, your brain releases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which supports neuroplasticity. In simple words, discomfort stimulates brain growth. Avoiding discomfort shrinks your mental power. When you do hard things, you train focus, you reduce fear, you increase confidence, you become more resilient to future challenges. Daily practice. Lean into discomfort. 1. Pick one discomfort every day. Call someone. Wake up early. Say no. Ask a hard question. Do one thing that makes your stomach twist. 2. Reframe the pain. Instead of saying, "This is hard," say, "This is where I grow." 3. Track your wins under pressure. Did you act even when scared? Celebrate it. That's a mental gym session completed. 4. Surround yourself with strugglers. Be with people who are growing, failing, learning. They remind you that struggle is normal and necessary. 5. Don't escape. Breathe through it. The next time you feel fear, discomfort, or pain, pause, breathe, and step into it slowly. The pain you feel today is the strength your brain will thank you for tomorrow. Don't run from discomfort. Don't escape resistance. Don't avoid the hard path. Because that path, the one full of obstacles, fear, and effort, is the only path that leads to the life you want. Winners are not people without struggle. They are people who walk into struggle with eyes open, knowing that growth lives there. So, starting today, when discomfort knocks on your door, don't hide. Smile and say, "I've been expecting you." If this video touched your heart, if it lit even a small fire in your mind, then don't let it stop here. Share this fire. Share this message. Be the reason someone else starts to change. Like this video if it gave you the courage to face discomfort. Comment below with one uncomfortable thing you'll do today. Subscribe to our channel for daily motivation that rewires your brain and rebuilds your life. This is your journey. We're walking with you every day, every step. Let's grow together.